6 months ago, WWE made the groundbreaking announcement Money in the Bank is going overseas. And in 2 days, they're taking over the O2 in London. It's our prediction shows and with a little more lanyard for you on this live stream edition of the World Elite Podcast. Let's go.
So what does it mean to be a raging Cajun? Southwest Louisiana, wreck your face, man. Still don't get it then, I'ma let you know. All you gotta do is come and join the show.
Well, hello again, everybody. We are the highest tier pod of your weekly unfiltered wrestling and entertainment. Welcome to the World Elite Podcast. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts. We're on YouTube and Twitch, and the whole Elite trio is back together. I'm Marcus at MarcusElite337 on Twitter. And he's Dylan, he's Jordan. Guys, I know we've been celebrating the national championship the last few hours, last couple of days, but how are y'all feeling after all that? Where can we find y'all?
I'm still feeling good about it, man. It's awesome, to see this program finally bring a title back since I think last time was 2009. So it feels good, and to beat a rival like Florida who beat us back in 2017. It was nice to get that revenge. And I'm on Twitter at DylanAber_, and also trying not to die over here with the heat exhaustion over here, man. It is freaking hot.
Yeah, and I'm doing good. Man? I'm doing good, and you can find me at Jordan_J2000.
I got like a warning heat wave. It said the highest was like 115.
It's unbelievable.
Feel like 115. What's up, Tim King? The Tim King Show. How you doing, man? So we got two special guests here. It's Money in the Bank. It's one of the biggest shows of the year. You can now include them in the Big Five. Hello, Miss Terry. So we got two special guests. For representing the Queen's Takeover podcast, of course, she's known as the Carolina Boss Lady, making her epic return to the World Elite Podcast after 2 years. It's Kayla. How you doing? Hold on. You're on mute. I just unmuted you. I'm sorry.
I'm doing great. Not too long ago, I got off of work. It was crazy. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good and ready to get some predictions going.
All righty. And to make it even better, I've had the privilege of competing with this woman on the Queen's Takeover and the Boss Lady Challenge. But she's here. It's Momma Lorrisa. How you doing? And I think you're also on mute right now. You have to unmute yourself too. There we go.
Am I good?
Yes, ma'am. How are you doing today?
I am doing wonderful. I am excited about Money in the Bank coming up and doing our predictions.
And we're making a history. This is the first time we have a mother-daughter pairing with the Hosley Trio. So this is historic right now. I got to get this out real quick. I heard the story. I got to let Dylan and Jordan hear this. Let them know, how did you get on the wrestling bandwagon? Who did you see on TV that inspired you and got you just, ugh?
You remember so well, don't you, Marcus?
Yes, ma'am. It's one of the funniest moments I've ever been a part of.
I just came home from work one Monday night. It's 2007. And when you a long day at work, you just want to come home. You just want to sit back and just chill, maybe throw something on TV. Well, that night there was nothing on. So I kept flipping. And I came across Monday Night Raw. And I'm like, nah. So I skipped it, and I kept coming back to it. Well, after I came back to it a couple of times, well, there was the hot bod of John Cena and Randy Orton going at it. Now, if that didn't get you to stop and pay attention, nothing was going to. But anyway, I just kept watching it, and it got exciting to me, I didn't even know what channel it was on. So the next week, I had to start searching for that, and I've been hooked ever since.
It was the USA Network, and this, if I had a feeling, this was probably your reaction a long time ago.
Well, yeah, after I picked myself up off the floor.
Oh, that's the most legendary story I've ever heard of how you became a wrestling fan.
That's too good.
And I know And I know, like Kayla, you're a big fan of Orange Cassidy. You like the best friends. Who's some other current favorites you like right now?
I've always been a Roman Reigns fan. Even before he started in the Shield. Um, but the just gimmick that he's got going on right now, I'm just tired of it. I love you, Roman, but it's just time to do something else. Um, uh, Seth Rollins is another one that I like pretty much. Um, Karrion Cross. I do have a few. I got to meet Jeff Hardy in Greenville, South Carolina, at a show that he was at, and that was exciting with Adam Hangman Page. He was there as well, so I got to meet him. So
Awesome.
there's a variety between WWE and AEW.
Did you get to meet those with Kayla too? Because I know Kayla's met some of her heroes. She met Karrion Cross and Scarlett. She met Chris Statlander. You probably met more people than I did.
Well, I've only met Adam Hangman Page, Jeff Hardy, and Karrion Cross. Those and Teddy Long. Can't forget Teddy Long. Holla, holla, holla.
Oh, there you go.
Those are
That's too good.
those are the only ones that I've actually had the opportunity to meet. Are there more? Yes. Within time, I'll get. But she's met so many more than I have.
I always like when y'all meet them. Even Kayla did like a couple of like video chats. I know you did one with Finn Balor and you did one with Natalia.
And also did one with The Miz. That was my very first one. Also, Braun Strowman was all right. It kind of awkward, but it was cool. And then I actually got to do one with video chat with Jey Uso, right? And the fact that I asked him, I said, "How do you like your storyline with Roman right now?" He says, "I love it. Other than getting my ass beat every week, I love it." So,
Awesome.
but
That's,
yeah, they were. Oh, and
yeah,
Becky
so
Lynch. I met Becky Lynch in video chat too.
awesome. That's great. That's awesome to hear. So we got a few questions lined up for y'all. So the first one, it's kind of mixture. It's men and women together. If you want to mix it together or not, but I will start with Kayla first, and then I'll go to Lorrisa. Your top 5 all-time Money in the Bank winners.
Top 5 Money in the Bank winners of all time: Seth Rollins, Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Dean Ambrose, and Liv Morgan.
All right. She's thinking.
I was just trying to figure if I should count them down to number one or just give you my number one. But top 5. My fifth one would be Alexa Bliss. I like that one. That was 2018. Then it had to be Dean Ambrose. Then Seth Rollins, Big E, and then last and not least, but Damian Sandow. And some people may say, "Well, why Damian Sandow?" That Money in the Bank winner had a storyline, like with Cody Rhodes throwing his briefcase into the Gulf of Mexico. It kind of had an ongoing storyline after he won it. So that's probably why it's probably one of my favorites. It was interesting.
Yeah. How you doing? Oh, we got one of your co-hosts here. How you doing? The Texas sports queen tuning in. No, my number one was Edge. I had Edge as my number one, like the very first winner. So if I put 2 women, it's gonna be like Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan. Those probably my 2 best women there. 2 other guys that won it, if I would throw in there, I'll say Ambrose for sure. And if I had to pick one more, that would probably be a tough one because like I'm trying to focus on the ones that were successfully cashing in. I probably would say Seth Rollins in the top 5 of all time, or I would probably, oh man, I might just stick with that. Dylan and Jordan, do y'all want to throw maybe like one of your all time favorites or anything like that?
Uh,
What's up,
for the
Freddie?
men's, probably Seth Rollins. I kind of feel like Seth had like the best cash in of all time, and I don't think anything really touches that. For the women's, I'll probably go with Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I'll go Alexa Bliss and Biggie.
Yeah. All right. I'll keep this one short. So, 3 worst Money in the Bank winners of all time. And I'll let Kayla, you can go first.
Might get hate on this one actually for 2 of them. Mom said Damian Sandown was one of the best, but I thought that was one of the worst. Otis, I said Otis because he kind of got lucky. He couldn't climb the ladder, and what happens? The briefcase falls and whatever. And also get a lot of hate for this one, considering everything I've been seeing on Twitter. People saying this is one of the best Money in the Bank winners ever, but I disagree of how it was won. Not once, but twice, and that was Carmella.
Okay. How about you, Mama Lorrisa?
My third place would probably be Nikki, ASH, the almost superhero gimmick. I like her as the crazy Nikki. Carmella, and then I would have to go with Otis as well.
I mean, I just didn't like how she won. Like, she had to get James Ellsworth to get the briefcase for her.
Yeah.
That just ruined it because I did enjoy her as Miss Money in the Bank. I just hated the way she got it. So if I would put 3 of the worst, I'm going to stick with the men's side. I'll say for sure I'm going to say Otis, especially the fact he used it as a lunchbox, the briefcase. I'm also going to throw Baron Corbin. I'm also going to say Baron Corbin. And the third? I want to say Brock Lesnar, but when he used it as a boombox, just made it hilarious. But he was actually successful when he cashed in, so I'm going to focus on the ones that failed. So if I had to pick a third that won it but was never successful, I'll probably have to go with my boy Austin Theory because I thought that was stupid that he went after the U.S. title instead of the World Championship. So
I guess he thought he couldn't beat Roman Reigns.
And now they changed that stipulation for the men's now. You can go after any title now. But Dylan Jordan, anyone off the top of your head you think was one of the worst winners of all time?
I mean, for me, it's Otis. Just didn't have a good run with it, and then he ended up losing it anyways.
Yeah, I'll say Otis.
I didn't like how they say like Miz is calling himself a 2-time Money in the Bank winner because the second one he won it from Otis. No, you didn't win 2 ladder matches like CM Punk did. Same with Edge. Edge took Mr. Kennedy's briefcase and called himself a 2-time winner. No, you just won 1 ladder match. You just won the briefcase because they suspended Kennedy for a while because of some policies that he violated in that time. Now, when it comes to I wouldn't say fashion, but we've seen many different types of briefcases over the years. Remember, it started with just the solid black businessman briefcase, and then they put the WrestleMania logo on it. Then some winners have customized their own. Like RVD got his airbrushed. Damien Sandow did the antique one, and then they started red for Raw, blue for SmackDown. We've had a gold briefcase before, and currently the women's is white and the men's is green. But do you have a favorite briefcase of all time, Kayla?
With it being my favorite color, I said the green one.
Okay. How about you, Miss Lorrisa?
Mine is the green boom case that Brock Lesnar did.
The boom box. Okay.
Yeah, the boom case. Yeah, when he made it a big old boom box. That I love that. But I like the green with the yellow letterings and stuff. I like that.
I have to say, I've never experienced Brock had dance moves like that the next night on Raw, and then Paul Heyman with the air guitar made it even funnier.
And he had no idea that he had a year to cash it in. You know, he was yelling at Paul Heyman for you didn't tell me,
I thought you knew.
I'm gonna go with the gold briefcase. I thought the gold one was more suitable. I mean, I like the green one now, but I just stuck with the gold for the men. Dylan Jordan, what about y'all?
For one, I love the boombox one that Brock did, but that goal one that Seth Rollins had, even though it took quite a beating, and for one, I know he just got reunited with. I know a lot of the past winners got reunited with their briefcases, and Seth Rollins got reunited with his, and it was like the same briefcase that still got the hell beat out of it. So that goal one was awesome.
I'll go with the green one.
All right. Okay, these are going to be separate. Well, we divided them. So first, we'll start with Kayla. The top 3 men's cash-ins of all time.
I'm going to go from 3 to 1. I have Edge, Seth Rollins, and Dean Ambrose.
All right. So which one from Edge? The first one on Cena or the second one on The Undertaker?
Ooh. I guess I would have to go with The Undertaker if I really had to choose.
Okay.
My first one would probably be Seth Rollins in 2014. Second, I'd have to go with Sheamus in 2015. And then third would be Brock Lesnar when he did it in 2019. Those would be my 3 favorite men's cash-ins.
All righty. I'll, of course, number one, of hands down, the heist of the century. I agree with that. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to say Edge is cash in on Cena. That started the whole trend of, oh, they're not 100%. I'm going to cash in when they're beat down. And then that's when he gained the nickname, the Ultimate Opportunist. The third one, I'm going to say Dean Ambrose, because that was the 190 year all 3 members of the Shield held the WWE title. And that was cool. And it pissed JBL off. And when JBL gets mad, I'm happy. But I wanted to put the Miz's cash in because of the angry Miz girl. But I put that as like an honorable mention. But, Dylan, I know what your number one all-time cash in is, but is there any other ones you like?
When it comes to 3, me and you had the exact same order. Was
Wow.
Rollins, Edge on Cena, and then when Ambrose cashed in.
Jordan?
I'll go Seth Rollins, Edge, and Dean Ambrose.
All right. Now, same thing for the women. 3 best cash-ins of all time for the women, because all of them were successful, so none was terrible. So I only kept that for just the women. So go ahead, Kayla. Give me your top 3 women's cash-ins of all time.
Number 3 would be Miss Alexa Bliss. Number 2 is Bayley. And number 1, because they kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and she accomplished her dream, not just by winning Money in the Bank, but she came out as champion the same night, was Miss Liv Morgan.
All right. Oh, Merry Christmas, Nick.
My 3 would be, first would be Alexa Bliss. Second would be Bayley, and then Asuka.
All right. Let's see. I put Asuka number 1 because that was just special the way Becky announced her pregnancy. But it would have been even better if it was in front of a crowd. I don't know how the crowd would have reacted if she did it in front of a crowd. They'd have probably lost their mind. But it was probably the greatest moment to be in front of no fans, I think, during the pandemic era. I'll say that. Number 2, I'll say Liv Morgan. Just the fact that she cashed in on Ronda Rousey and was successful. And number 3, I'll say Alexa Bliss. Dylan, Jordan?
I really don't have a 3. I just like whenever it's Alexa Bliss. I loved her cash in.
Yeah, I got Liv Morgan.
All right. 3 worst cash-ins of all time for the men.
Baron Corbin.
I think he made everybody's list.
Because it's just hilarious. He taunted John Cena, and then John Cena turned around and screwed him around. So you kind of.
Okay, yeah. Is that all you got, or you got any more?
That's the only one I can honestly think of because, I mean, that one just stands out to me. Like, I mean, they haven't been ever, yeah.
Okay.
Baron Corbin's the one that stuck out to me. I mean,
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I would have to go with Baron Corbin as well. That one, that's about the only one that I can think of.
Or if you want to throw Theory in there, so throw that Theory in there.
I just liked when he got knocked up and out. That was great. It wasn't the Money in the Bank, but he still got knocked up and out.
Yeah. I'll say Baron Corbin's was one of the worst, but when John Cena cashed in, I mean, it would have been the perfect if he'd have won it, but I hated how he got disqualified and he wasn't successful. And then the third one, I'm gonna say Braun Strowman, just the way that happened, and then Brock, and then that's that the whole you could stop a match in a Hell in a Cell when it was supposed to be the most brutal match of all time. That plus Dylan's most hated Hell in a Cell match the following year with the Fiend and Seth Rollins. So yeah, that we don't like to bring those up, but what about worst cash-ins for you?
I mean, it's for one, it's got to be Baron Corbin. That's the only like really bad one I can think of.
Yeah, Baron Corbin.
Okay. On this one, I said your top 3 Money in the Bank pay-per-views of all time. Just say the year. You don't have to say what happened on that. I just go with the year. Let's start with you, Kayla.
2019, 2018, and 2016.
All right.
I'd have to say 2011, 2018, and 2021.
All right. I'm going to go from 1 to 3. I'm going to say 2011, then 2016, and then the third. You know what? I think I got the same as Mama Lorrisa. 2021's my third. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Just the fact that was your first show back after having no fans permanently for a while, and just that whole show was just perfect. The winners, even Nikki winning it, and just Cena coming back at the end, and then the whole Pat McAfee, Michael Cole conversation that, oh my God, it's John Cena. Pat McAfee, where? Because you can't see him. That's a great comeback. Dylan, what about you?
Yeah, I think that's the perfect top 3 list right there.
I would say 2019. I'll say 2019.
All right. At least 1 to 3 right here. Worst Money in the Bank pay-per-views you've ever watched. If you can give me at least 3.
I've got 2. Even though we didn't have a crowd, I wasn't too fond of the 2021. I mean the Clown the Tower or Clown the Corporate Office was all right, but then also I said 2005 because at the time it was only Raw Superstars. SmackDown couldn't be involved with it.
Yeah. Okay.
You want 3? I think I could have 2.
That's all good.
It would probably one of the worst ones would be the WWE headquarters in 2020.
Okay, so
I
2020
circumstances. I know that they did the best that they could with under the circumstances. I just think there should have been just a little bit more planning on it, a little bit more excitement on it. But overall, I mean, it was okay, but it just wasn't the best. It wasn't what we're used to. And then the second one, I would have to say WrestleMania 26.
Okay. Yeah, that one, yeah.
10 participants in it, and you had high flyers, you had Matt Hardy in there. You had Jack Swagger. You had MVP, Christian, Kofi, Ziggler, just to name a few. And it was just a variety, but it was just too many men in there. They were just all over the place. So I think just 10, that would be one of the worst ones.
I must say 2020, 20 because it was pandemic and I thought it was a dumb idea to climb in the tower like that. 2017 because that was probably one of SmackDown's worst pay-per-views when they decided to revive the whole brand split. I thought Money in the Bank, that's when they should have started it as like one of the big five, let Raw and SmackDown collide together instead of let it be just for one brand. And this one, I'll probably say 2015. It didn't feel, I don't know, just I felt like it was a lazy show. Like it was a lazy show. Like I was fine with Sheamus winning Money in the Bank. Like at the time, I didn't like Seth Rollins, and I wanted him to lose to Ambrose, and Ambrose got screwed again. So that's why I put that one as one of the worst. So Dylan,
2020. Kind of understood the concept. There was no fans there, but I think they could have just kept it in the ring. I understand what they did and why they did it with the whole headquarters thing, but yeah, keep it in the ring. Just make it a simple Money in the Bank, even though there was no fans there. They did a whole WrestleMania with no fans. Just do the Money in the Bank in it.
Yeah, I'll say 2020.
All right. Last question before we get to predictions. Your favorite Money in the Bank ladder match of all time? Go ahead, Kayla.
2022 women's ladder match
With Liv Morgan.
And I say that.
If you like, you could share who was all in it. I know that's the one Liv Morgan won, but I can't keep up with who all.
I don't remember who was all in it. I just know it's one of my favorites because Becky was at the top of the ladder and Liv put the ladder up beside her, and Becky pushes the ladder over, and I looked, and when Liv's foot touched the rope, Mom and I looked at each other and says, "She's winning it." Came back, shoot across, Becky fell off, and Liv climbed up and got the briefcase. And I just, like I said earlier, the reason it's like one of my favorite, ladder matches is because of what because so many times when Ruby, the Riot Squad was together, I mean, we got Sarah back, but she's now involved with the Valhalla, and I've always wanted the Riot Squad to win tag team championships, but the fact that Liv was pushing to become a champion, and so 2022 is always going to stick out to me for her cashing in, and like you said earlier, Marcus, it was on Rowdy Ronda Rousey too, made it even more memorable. So.
And still, I remember I've seen it like as reels or on Instagram. Michael Cole and Pat McAfee's reaction when Liv came out and cashed in and even won.
Yes.
But it was Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, Raquel Rodriguez, and Shotzi. I don't think that was the one. No, I think it was the year before that. The one where Alexa Bliss was the evil character and she just like stood on the turnbuckle post and not moved for like 5 or 10 minutes. I think that was 2021.
2021, I think.
Yeah.
How about you, Mama Lorrisa? What's your favorite Money in the Bank ladder match of all time?
The men's match in 2010. It was pure mayhem and chaos. That's one of my favorites because you got the big superstars, like Kane and Big Show was in it, Drew McIntyre, and then they had your little stars, your super flyers like Matt Hardy and Kofi, how they like to do the high flying, and then they had it kind of a little twist with adding Cody Rhodes, Ziggler, and Christian in it. So it had a variety, and it was just. It was. I remember, to me, it just seemed like a longer match than normal, just because there was just so much chaos. But it was entertaining. It was very entertaining. So 2010 men's match would have to be my favorite.
And she's talking about the SmackDown one in 2010, the one Kane won. So it was Kane, Big Show, Christian, Cody Rhodes, Dolph Ziggler, Drew McIntyre, Kofi Kingston, and Matt Hardy. Because they also had a Raw one that which that's the one Miz won. So no,
Mhm.
my personal favorite was the very first one at WrestleMania 21. Edge, Christian, Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Kane, and Shelton Benjamin. That was the one that started it all at WrestleMania 21.
Mhm.
Dylan.
Yeah, same here. You took it right out of my mouth. You know, the very first one at Mania 21, that one was just too good.
I
There you
got
go.
the one when Liv Morgan won it.
Okay, so you got the same one as Kayla.
Yeah.
All right. And then I'm actually excited. Like the fact that I heard it was going to London, I was like all hyped. I'm like, this is gonna out top back. I think it's gonna be bigger out top backlash. That crowd is going to be on fire. There when they sing Rollins' theme song, or if I was hoping Edge would have had a match, they could have sung Edge's theme like they did at Clash at the Castle. Nakamura's theme, they're gonna get loud with that. They're gonna give Roman hell. They're gonna the hell out of themselves when LA Knight comes out. I mean, I'm trying to think, well, who else's songs they're gonna sing, like and whatnot. That crowd's going to be electric, and I cannot wait to see how they respond. Oh, Elwood, Cody's entrance. That's the one I'm waiting for too. Is it going to be louder than Backlash? Will they be louder than Puerto Rico? So, how we're gonna do this? We're gonna when we get the predictions, we'll start again. We'll keep the same order: Kayla, Mama Lorrisa, then we'll go Dylan Jordan, and I'll go last. But we'll start with Money in the Bank. Let's see. Loved it when CM Punk. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I was there when he won that, and I was there when he cashed in on Jeff Hardy, and I was pissed. Jeff won the title and then lost it in 5 minutes. So why don't we start with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match? You got Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch, Zoe Stark, Bayley, Io Sky, and Trish Stratus. You know the rules. They win, they get a contract for a futures women's championship match. They can cash in anytime, any place for a year. So I'm gonna not make it too hard for y'all. I'm gonna let y'all pick your number one to win and a backup. So Kayla, who you got as your main winner and a backup?
I'm actually going back and forth with this winner because when we did our predictions on the Queen's Takeover, I said one person, and then the other person, who I'm about to say, is actually the reverse roles because I've been watching them. Um, so who I really think it's going to come out as the number one winner is Io Sky, and who I think is backup will be Zelina Vega.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Io Sky's going to come out winning it. But I just can't think a backup. I'm not sure what, but I have a feeling Trish Stratus is going to try to do something in between her, Zoe, and Becky. So my backup would probably be Trish.
Okay, Dylan.
So my winner and my backup are both next to each other in the graphic. Io Sky is my winner. Bailey is my backup.
All right.
I'm going Io Sky to win, and my backup is Zoe Stark.
I've been preaching for the last couple of months. I said Zelina Vega's got to win Money in the Bank, so she's my pick. But my backup is Io Sky because Io Sky's been on the road too. All right. Next up, we got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Same stipulation. But this time, they changed it for a lot for the men. If you win, you get yourself a shot at any championship you choose. It don't have to be the world title. It could be the Intercontinental title. It could be the U.S. title. I don't know about the tag titles. Well, we're missing – I know we're missing one more guy on the graphic, but we got Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest. What happened? You forgot to add him?
I just noticed I forgot to add Santos on there. Son of a bitch.
Oh, man. Okay, anyhow, you got Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Butch, Damian Priest, Logan Paul, and finally, LA Knight. Same as usual. Who's your winner and who's your backup?
Well, I'm since you said that they can cash in on any championship, and I've known this person has said it in the past that they either want to be United States champion or Intercontinental champion. Um, I'll put them as number two. Who I think might win is LA Knight, and just because they want a championship lower end, I think backup. Cannot believe I'm going to say this is Logan Paul.
All right, so we got one out on LA Knight so far. All right, Mama Lorrisa, what's it gonna be?
I'm going with Damian Priest. He's going to walk out with the men's Money in the Bank. And my backup is going to be Santos Escobar.
All right, there you go. Dylan.
So when they announced that Logan Paul was in the match, that kind of got me worried. But then I just kind of feel like they put him in this match to not be as big of a distraction for LA Knight winning it. You know, they don't want it to be like, oh, this is going to be like just a gimme right here. LA Knight's winning it. It's a no-brainer. So I kind of feel like Logan Paul in there is just a distraction, you know, because a lot of people feel like he's gonna win it because he's in it now. Because they did say, you know, he wants a championship in WWE, so they feel like maybe this is the perfect way of giving him a championship. But my backup is Damian Priest, and my winner is obviously LA Knight. You know, I think he's
Oh, did I hit it too soon? I'm sorry. I was gonna let you finish what you said.
It's all good.
I'm going with LA Knight to win, and I'm going Ricochet.
I'm going to hear that in my sleep tonight.
You know what? I think we've heard it enough. Y'all know who I'm picking, but I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it just die away. I'm picking LA Knight to win. But I made a change here because since I realized this son of a bitch was going to be in this match, I was getting furious that I was like, he's going to have to be my backup. But there's been a report that Triple H don't want Logan Paul to win Money in the Bank because he wants somebody that would actually bring publicity and attention to the company. And that's not Logan Paul. And I was looking at the rest of the competitors. There's only one other option. So I changed my backup to Damian Priest. So I got LA Knight as my main winner. My backup's Damian Priest. I mean, I would love for Santos Escobar to win. That would be cool. It'd be cool if Shinsuke wins. Hell, I would even like if Ricochet wins. But, I mean, I'm going to just go with Damian. Everyone's kind of riding on him to win if they're not picking LA Knight. So, this will probably be the quickest pick out of the whole series here. But Cody Rhodes versus Dominic Mysterio.
It's obvious, really. I mean, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I mean, Dominic can't get a word out nowadays, poor guy. Oh well, who cares?
Okay.
As much as I want Cody Rhodes to win so bad, I have a feeling Dominic Mysterio is going to win due to DQ. Brock Lesnar has been laying low so long, for a while now. He's been quiet, not showing up anywhere. I say Dominic's going to win because of DQ, because Brock Lesnar is going to make an appearance and interfere with Cody. That's my prediction.
That's a bold prediction right there. I love it.
So I'm actually going with Dominic as well, but I don't think it'll be DQ. I think there is interference. I think either Brock comes out or the ref's, you know, distracted or he's out cold or whatnot. And I think that Rhea Ripley hits the riptide on Cody Rhodes and Dominic wins. So this is going to be that thing of Cody still trying to finish that story, and, you know, more Brock than Rhea, I think, interferes. It's to set up SummerSlam. So yeah, I think Dominic wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Dominic.
I hate both men, but I'll pick Cody Rhodes any day than that dipshit Dominic Mysterio. Jeez Louise. All right, then they just recently added this match here because last Friday in our hometown she made her epic return. So they're getting an opportunity to win back titles they never lost. For the women's tag team championships, Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler defend against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Now, I don't know if they're going to still parade around with both titles or did they actually put away the NXT women's tag titles here. That's the only one I'm trying to figure out. But who you got winning?
I've been wanting this team to finally be together, and the fact that they are and they're tag team champions. Um, Sorry, Liv and Raquel. I love you as a team, but baddest woman on the planet and Miss Queen of Spades is going to retain those titles.
Ronda and Shayna's going to retain. My prediction.
Yeah, same here. I got Ronda and Shayna. As much as I love Liv and Raquel, they just won them, so I don't think it makes sense really to take them off of them, even though Liv and Raquel really didn't lose them. It doesn't make sense, for Ronda and Shayna to lose. They're a dominant tag team, so why have them lose already?
Right.
Yeah, I'm going Ronda and Shayna.
Yeah, this is a sweep across the board. I got Ronda and Shayna retaining, but I just don't see them going to NXT to defend. I could see Liv and Raquel going to NXT to defend them, but not Shayna and Ronda. I don't know. All right, then we get another match that was recently added: Gunther versus Matt Riddle for the Intercontinental Championship.
He's going to keep dominating. Gunther's going to walk out as champion still. I don't see him losing anytime soon.
I'm going to have to agree with that. I don't see Gunter losing anytime soon unless Matt Riddle pulls out a flip flop or something and beats him with it, or pulls out something. No idea. But I'm going to go with Gunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be Gunther. There's no chance that if anyone's gonna take it off of Gunther after this historic reign he has with the IC title, that it's gonna be Matt Riddle. There's not a chance in hell it's gonna be him. So Gunther dominates, and he puts down Matt Riddle pretty easily.
Yeah, I'm going with Gunther too.
I'm going to dedicate this pick to our good buddy Matt Ritter from the Smack and Raw podcast, the number one wrestling podcast on Pornhub, and they're about to reach episode number 300 tomorrow. So congratulations to Matt Ritter and Vincent Delgado and even Katie Kinsey. But Gunther is going to murder Matt Riddle, and I hope Matt Riddle never shows up again on Raw. Gunther retains the title, because I don't like Matt Riddle either. All right. We get Seth freaking Rollins versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship.
I know who I really, 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 really want to win, because I've said it before, ever since he won the Universal Championship and had to vacate it the night before due to injury, he's never fully got back where he needs to be. And as a huge fan, I would love to see him on top again. Unfortunately, I don't see it right now. This is only going to anger him even more. I mean, yeah, he's bringing back part of the demon. He's bringing out the aggression that he did give Seth, 7 years ago at SummerSlam. But unfortunately, I just don't still think it's not enough. If he comes out as champion, I'll be 100% probably with no voice, because I'll be so excited and screaming. Same way I was with Chris Statlander when she came back and won the TBS championship. But unfortunately, I think Seth freaking Rollins is going to walk out as World Heavyweight Champion still.
My daughter's probably going to cheer for this one, but I am picking Finn Balor over Seth Rollins, only to lose it to Damian Priest. He'll cash in when he wins the men's money in the bank.
I know where you sleep.
I know that.
That's another bold prediction. That is another bold prediction.
I'm saying Finn Balor's going to win it, but he's going to lose it too.
Wow.
So she's making a bold prediction that Damian's going to leave Judgment Day, which I think he should. Damian would be much better on his own.
So you're saying that he's going to go from 23 hours short reign to 2 minutes or 5 minutes because no.
It just depends on how close the Seth and Finn's match is to the men's money in the bank. It just depends. He might go for an hour being champ or something. You just don't know yet. But Finn is going to win to lose it that night to Damian Priest.
Man, that's a good prediction.
Not if JD Madonna stops Damian Priest.
Oh, wow. So I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. As much as I'm not hating that idea to break up Judgment Day that way, or at least get Damian Priest out of there, because I know they want to bring in JD McDonough at some point. Finn Balor's constantly having the conversations with them, so that would be a cool way to do it. But no, I think Seth is gonna keep it. He's been carrying that company for so long. To pull it off of him already just after Night of Champions, I don't think that's the smart move just yet. So I think finally we'll get a Money in the Bank where no one cashes in the same night they win it. Let them carry it for a little while.
Yeah, I'm going with Seth Rollins.
I think this could be potentially like a match of the night candidate. Could potentially be a match of the year. That crowd in London is going to be on fire for both men, especially them singing Seth's theme. I hope they at least get 25, 30 minutes tops. Like, just give a banger of a match. Because this is it was 7 years in the making when Finn tore his shoulder or whatever, and he had to be stripped of the Universal title. From there, awesome match at SummerSlam in 2016. So, yeah, it's a long time coming. It's been a while since they shared the ring together. I think it's going to out-top SummerSlam. But this is what I'm going to predict here. So Seth retains, but when he's on the stage raising that championship up, I don't know if he'll as soon as he turns around or while he's celebrating, I think he's going to get ambushed by the return of a Drew McIntyre, a heel Drew McIntyre, and build it to SummerSlam.
It's not bad.
Because everybody thinks he's ready for him to come back, but they want him to be supposed to come back as a heel. Like, I'm talking about long, wet, black hair, Damian Priest vest, Drew McIntyre, trench coat, Drew McIntyre. Like, the one from 2019, where he looked so evil. And then he had the full beard like me. Like, that version of Drew was badass.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, with the main event, I guess this is what it was like when the Mega Powers imploded. Or this what it was like when you had to choose sides of the Ultimate Challenge with Hogan and Warrior. This must have would have been like when it was Rock versus Austin or Cena versus Orton. We get a Bloodline Civil War, a tag team match. You get the undisputed WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns teaming up with Solo Sikoa versus, if not, maybe the greatest tag team today in WWE, the Usos. So before you make y'all predictions, I will give y'all the time y'all need to address the Bloodline before you make your pick. Who will you choose? Choose wisely. Kayla, you make your statement first. Good morning, broadcast.
Address the Bloodline. It's been 3.5 years that we've got to acknowledge the tribal chief. And, man, the fact that the Bloodline is slowly breaking, and I've seen, considering a certain Doomsday had something to do with it, because ever since he returned in my hometown of Greenville, South Carolina on SmackDown last year. Um, he assumed when Scarlett turned the hourglass on Roman, that's when everything started falling apart. Um, but Roman, unfortunately, is still kicking high. I'm hoping that Solo Sequoia will eventually realize that Roman's going to eventually keep using him or something. I don't really know what goes through Solo's mind. Um, Usos has always been one of the all-time favorite tag teams of mine. What side do I choose? I'm going to go with the original, the ones. They were the ones before the tribal chief. They were the ones before the bloodline. Usos. Usos need this win to prove that they don't need Roman Reigns, Solo Sequoia, or the Walrus, Paul Heyman.
Oh, this one's a difficult one for me, but before I get started, I just want to say I got a bloodline shirt on. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief, but you're not going to win. Unfortunately, um, I've been a Roman Reigns fan, like I said, for a very long time. Um, and Kayla will attest to this. Like when he does something on TV, I literally have a conversation with him through TV that I don't like how he's acted. I don't like how he's bullying. I don't like how he's been treating the Usos. Just different things that he's doing, like he's the best or whatever. But yes, he's the longest reigning champion, and that I admire. Um, but this has got to end somewhere. Um, Solo, he is the only wrestler that I have yet to even figure out. I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet how to take him. Is he going to remain loyal to the tribal chief, or is he going to crumble or, as well and will wake up and see what is going on, and it's just going to be Reigns and Heyman on the island of relevancy by themselves? The Usos, they're an all-time favorite tag team of mine. They were the ones, like Kayla said, they were popular. They were better than any tag team ever out there before the tribal chief came along. So I am going to go with the Usos and just hoping that somebody, one of them, whether it's Jay or Jimmy, would just punt Paul Heyman in the nose for me. That would make my night.
So I got the Usos, and I think Solo takes the pin. Obviously, Roman ain't taking it. But I think after the match is over, we're gonna get a lot of extra stuff that goes on. I think Roman, like he gives Solo that same treatment he's been given to Usos, like a shove to the face, and I think we see a Samoan spike to Roman, and he leaves Roman as well. Just leaving him by himself. I've been calling Solo to turn on Roman for quite some time now, and I think this is the perfect way you do it. Not so much align yourself with the Usos, but this is a way to go on your own. Because he don't need the Usos, he needs to be on his own. This guy has proven that he can go on his own. So while the Usos will go on their way, maybe they'll get some sort of one-on-one match with Roman. I'm not sure at SummerSlam if they do it or what. But I think Solo goes on his own at some point. If they don't do it on Saturday, they do it at SummerSlam, because I feel like he's not going to take Roman's shit much longer because Roman has no one else to bully other than Solo. So Solo either turns after the match on Saturday or he turns at SummerSlam because I think he needs to just go on his own.
Yeah, I'm going with the Usos to win this one.
Okay. Let me start with Roman Reigns first. Roman, you've been in the company since 2012. You came with the Shield, you came with Rollins and Ambrose. You were probably the first I loved the most out of the three. Then I became a fan of all three. And then, your singles run down the road. Yeah, I did support you when people hated you. And then when you align with Paul Heyman, you're a heel, you're a bad guy. Then you become somebody. You become the head of the table, the needle mover, the tribal chief, all the above. I've had a love-hate relationship with you ever since. You've been Universal Champion for damn near 3 years now. You've been WWE Champion for a year and a half, even though they unified it. Eventually, your time will come as champion, but I do acknowledge you. I will always acknowledge you, but there are times I just don't like you. Solo Sokoa, you're awesome. Keep doing what you do best. And Jimmy and Jey Uso, I remember when y'all first came in 2010, I didn't know who the hell you guys were until I realized y'all are the twin sons of one of the all-time greats, Rikishi. I love the whole like paint that they wore, the whole Samoan dance. That was pretty cool. But I knew it was time for a change, and then it was in 2016. Y'all just been yourselves, and y'all were the ones down since day one. And I loved this version of you guys the most over the paint on the face. Some Usos. Y'all are the greatest. I believe y'all are one of the greatest tag teams of all time, maybe the greatest tag team of all time. I have y'all on a Mount Rushmore of tag teams with the likes of the Hardys and possibly DX. You could probably say Edge and Christian on there. There might be some other tag teams we could throw on there, like Demolition, maybe. But save a spot for the Usos on that Mount Rushmore of greatest tag teams in WWE. This whole storyline has been cinema with main event Jey feuding with Roman, and then Jimmy turning super kicking Roman that kick hard all over the world, and then Jey did it the same not long ago. Something's got to give. People are picking sides. Everyone's going with Roman and Solo. Everyone's going with the Usos. Only one's going to be on top. One team will be on top. But it's come to my attention that I have said it can only go down to one team. So, with that being said, I am sticking with my tribal chief and Solo Sokoa to win this tag team match. But I don't think it will be over just yet. They will probably have another match at SummerSlam, and maybe that's when the Usos will win, and that it will come down to a third and final encounter down the road, whether if it's at Payback or Fastlane or Survivor Series where they do a War Games but split. I don't know. I just want more of this storyline. This is the storyline of the decade, the Bloodline storyline with Sammy being as honorary Uso. I have been so connected with this Bloodline. I need a Bloodline shirt like Miss Lorrisa here, except I don't know if I want it in white, black, or red. Hell, I even bought these shoes, and I feel like I'm a member of the Bloodline. I call these my Roman shoes, even though he wears red. But, man, I'm going with Roman and Solo. But I do think Solo will eventually turn on him somewhere down the road. But can we just put a title on Solo? Like, I know Kayla hates Austin Theory with a passion. Let's Solo Simone spike the hell out of Austin Theory and take his U.S. title, even though I like Theory.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies, this was absolutely fun. I hope you guys enjoy Money in the Bank this Saturday. Thank you. Before we go, let them know where they can find you on social media, plus where they can find Queen's Takeover.
Well, I am at Ryder Chaos on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find the Queen's Takeover podcast on Instagram and Twitter at the QT Bow Down. And we are on all major platforms for podcasts: Apple Music, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, you name it, you can probably find us.
Miss Lorrisa?
I'm on Twitter at my name, which is at Lorrisa Kincaid. That's LORRISAKINCAID. And I'm also on Facebook. I do have an Instagram, but I couldn't even tell you what it is. I hardly ever get on that. But anybody that's been listening or watching, just if you want to talk some wrestling with me, just hit me up. I'd be more than glad to share some memories with you.
Absolutely.
And guys, I appreciate you all having us on. I have had a blast.
Oh, it was an absolute pleasure to have you. When I did Queen's Takeover with you, the Boss Lady Challenge, I told Dylan, we got to get her and Kayla together. That's the only way we're going to get her. She ain't going to come by herself. I said, let's bring them both on. Let's bring mother and daughter pairing together.
And Kayla said, Mom, they're live. I'm like, they're what? You shouldn't even told me that because the other podcast I did wasn't live. So, I was really comfortable and I was just me. And I told Kayla before we got on here, I said, it's live. I'm just going to be me. This is me.
Well, it was wonderful having you. I mean, we don't always do live. We do audio occasionally, but once a week we go live. But Dylan, Jordan, y'all have any last words before we close out?
No, man, I got nothing.
No, I don't have none.
Only thing I got is hope everyone has a wonderful and safe, happy 4th of July weekend. Don't drink and drive. Be sure you don't lose a finger popping fireworks. And enjoy all the barbecue and all the good food and everything. It's going to be fun. But you can follow the podcast on Twitter at WordlyPod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're free and available wherever you get your podcasts on all audio platforms. Spotify, Google Pod, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, you name it. Proud sponsors. Thank you to W Energy. I got my shit in finally. We do have a promo code. Go to w.gg, type in WordlyPod to get 10% off. Our other sponsor, 80Steez. You go to 80steez.com, type in Wordly as our promo code to get 30% off. And our live streams like this, powered by StreamYard, you can watch anytime on demand on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel. So, Kayla, Mama Lorrisa, thank you again for joining us. It was fun having y'all too. That's
Thank
women's
you,
tag.
Dan.
That's what I call women's tag team champions right there.
Yeah.
A mother-daughter duo.
I got her into it. I introduced her to it, and she got hooked just like me. I don't think the hot bods of John Cena and Randy Orton was in for her, but she got hooked somehow. All right, you guys take care.
Thank you. Dylan, Jordan, always it's a pleasure. For our listeners, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys. I will do a Fallout probably Saturday on our channel. Be sure to check out for that. But until then, see you guys next week. Happy 4th of July. I've been down now, here we go again.